Muhammad Umar Farooq biological video. Please make sure to subscribe, like and share. Ask the question for answer and comment about the artwork. So in this video we will talk about the wood anatomy. That's the stem which that is here is the plant which the cross section of the wood is here. That the wood is composed with the different layers with that a primary xylem to give a secondary xylem. So here is the basically outer inner bark and cambium ring. That's outside of the cambium ring is present the phloem. That's the primary phloem as secondary, and inside of the cambium ring which that are present the xylem, secondary xylem and primary xylem. The secondary xylem is here, which that is contains sapwood and hardwood, and between the sapwood and hardwood that are xylem ray which that are present, which is known as xylem ray, is in the form of ray. That inside middle side is the pith. So here is the hardwood. So now here I will draw a cross section of another type of wood. So here is the basically pith and xylem vessels. Xylem ray are present is here, and here is the xylem ray, and here is the bark. So here that is the basically annual ring or cambium activity that is produced. Annual ring that is shown in the ring like structure, which is produced by the secondary growth. So there's ring is produced in the wood is due to the secondary growth of the xylem. So the xylem layers will be produced, and here is the pith and here is the ring with that cambium ring are present is here. So now is the upper bark, this that is known outer and inner bark is shown in the upper region, and inside is the xylem that is known as wood. The xylem is basically the water conducting tissue which that are used for the conduction of the water. So the conduction of the water is here, and that's the basically here is the annual ring is shown in the red color, and outside is the green color shows there the outer phloem which that go into the outside of the growth of the secondary phloem, and xylem will inside. So here is the another cross section which that are upper side is the cross section, and downside is the basically is here the inner bark and outer bark, and here is the green color shows there the phloem, and outside of the basically phloem is secondary phloem growth, and inside is going to the secondary xylem and primary xylem. So here is the basically cambium ring which that are present is here, and green color is known as the phloem. So here is the cambium ring, and here is the tangential surface, tangent area of the surface of the wood is shown is here, and here is the cortex, and there's a cortex is the between the area of the phloem and cambium ring and outer bark and inner bark. There's a between the area of the basically is here is shown the figure. So here is the basically secondary xylem is present is here. That's a secondary xylem is outgrowth of the outward of the toward the bark, and secondary xylem will go inside of the wood. There's the after the secondary growth, there's a primary xylem will crush, and the secondary xylem with deposition and saccharification and lignification are present, and go into the hardwood, and ultimately go into the pith. There the pith is the inactive form of the stem which that are store the minerals and some iron and some nutrients which that are stored into the hardwood. So here is the hardwood, and here is the sapwood that is known as softwood. So here is the basically is hardwood is shown in the color is here. So the lining shows that the annual ring, which the annual ring is produced by the activity of cambium ring. The activity of cambium ring, the growth of the cambium is due to the different seasonal changes which that are in the spring, which that has more and more growth, and their color is light. And if we will talk about the cold weather, then the growth will be slow and the darkness is light, no more darkness. So here is the basically xylem ray. There's a xylem ray is the between in the woody um, woody power plant. The ray vessel is here, and there's the vessel is basically hardwood, and there's the basically we will talk about the hardwood radial parenchyma is here. That's the hardwood contain the radial parenchyma is that is the shown in the figure. So the radial is the soft wood, and there's a radial parenchyma is are present into the basically later side of the with the cambium ring downward the in the radial form. And here is the basically different types of pits are present in the radial tracheid. So the radial parenchyma contain the radial tracheids. The tracheids is the basically pit are present for the conduction of water. So here the basically radial tracheid is known as the basically perforation plate are present, and that's the using for the conduction of water. So it means that the use for the conduction of water is the tracheid is present in the xylem. So in this type of structure are present in the xylem that are used for the water conduction. So no, also xylem contain fibers. So here is the fiber which that contain basically is here is the we will draw here is the thick wall pith, thick wall, and is thick wall fiber which that is contain which that are present in the hardwood, and here the pits are present for the absorption and releasing of the water. So here is basically I draw another axial tracheid. That's a tracheid which that are axial parenchyma are present. That's axial parenchyma is the basically the wall which that are present is the axial parenchyma is present is here. So now we will talk about the here is the basically here is the axial, and axial mean the basically axial is on the axis of the wood. So here I draw a structure of the single unit thin wall soft wood. We will discuss about the soft wood vessels. That's the here is a tracheid and contain a pits that is very thin walled with a thin wall layer of cellulose. That's the cellulose. We will talk about the here is no here is softwood, and here is the no we will talk about the cellulose. The cellulose is the basically is contained with a here is a tracheid or fiber wall, and the fiber wall will contain a macrofiber. That macrofiber is going with a dividing which is composed with a microfibril. That's microfibril contain with a micelles of cellulose branches. So that's micelles of cellulose branches is the basically is the structure is here, which that is contain and the basically 5 branches are present in the in one micelles, and that's the basic overview of the